Good evening, everyone. We've all had those moments where life throws us curveballs we didn't see coming. Maybe it's a disappointment that hits deep or a struggle that seems like it'll never end. But let me tell you something, pain is temporary. Yes, it stings, it aches, it sometimes feels like it's never going to let up. But I want you to hear me clearly, it doesn't last forever. It may linger for a while and it may change you, but it is not here to stay. In those moments of pain, it's so easy to think that what you're going through defines you. But pain doesn't define who you are. It's merely a chapter, a moment in the grand story of your life. You are so much bigger than whatever is hurting you right now. It's easy to feel lost in it, to think that things won't get better, but you are stronger than you know. There is a power inside you, and even when the pain feels unbearable, that power is what keeps you moving forward. Pain shows up for a reason. It's here to teach you something. It's a reminder that you're alive, that you're still fighting, still standing. And after every storm, there's always calm. The clouds will break and the sun will shine again. You will smile again. You will laugh again. And one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come, how much stronger you've grown. So when you find yourself in those hard places, I want you to hold on. Don't let the pain convince you that it's all there is. Don't let it stop you from moving forward. Because on the other side of that pain, there's growth. There's healing. There's a version of you who has walked through the fire and come out shining. Keep going. You are not alone in this. Remember, pain is temporary. But the strength you build from pushing through it, that's forever. When we're in the middle of a painful experience, it can feel all-consuming, like it's going to last forever. But let me tell you something that's hard to remember in those moments. Pain is temporary. It doesn't last forever. I know when you're hurting, when your heart is heavy, it can feel like that pain is permanent, like it's taken root in your life. But pain has a way of moving through us, of ebbing and flowing, and eventually it passes. Think about the hardest moments you've faced in your life, the times when you thought you wouldn't make it through. Yet here you are. You've made it. That's because no matter how tough things seem, they are not here to stay. They're moments, chapters, seasons, and like all seasons, they come to an end. You may not be able to see it right now, but there will come a day when the pain you're feeling will be a distant memory. The clouds will part, the heaviness will lift, and you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Pain doesn't get to define you because it is not a permanent fixture in your life. It's temporary. It's like a storm that comes in, and while it's there, it can seem relentless. But storms don't last forever. They blow through, they leave their mark, but eventually the sky is clear. And when they do, you realize the strength you built in the process. You realize the resilience you didn't know you had. The storm may be fierce, but you are stronger. Sometimes pain is here to teach us. It has a way of showing us parts of ourselves that we didn't know existed. It's in those moments of discomfort and hurt that we learn the most about who we are and what we're capable of. But even as a teacher, pain knows its place. It is not here to overstay its welcome, and it's not meant to hold you down. It's just passing through. When you find yourself in the thick of it, remind yourself that this too shall pass. It's a moment, and no matter how deep the pain feels right now, it will fade. The tough times you're going through aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to shape you, to refine you, but not to break you. So take heart in knowing that pain is a visitor, not a permanent resident in your life. You are built to endure it, to grow through it, and to rise beyond it. Remember, the sun always comes out after the darkest night. And so no matter how long or hard this season may feel, it's just that a season. And just like every season before it, this one will end too. Pain is temporary, and on the other side of it, there's a brighter, stronger, more resilient. When we go through hardship, it's easy to feel like the pain we're experiencing is all there is. It feels so heavy, so real, that we start to believe it's who we are. But let me remind you of something powerful. Pain is not here to define you. It's not meant to tell the world who you are. It's not your identity. Pain is here to teach you, to show you things about yourself and the world that you wouldn't otherwise learn. But it is not here to stay. It's a lesson, not a label. Often, when we're in the middle of pain, it feels like the world has shrunk, like all that's left is the hurt, the struggle, the difficulty. And in that space, we can start to believe that the pain we're feeling is a reflection of who we are. We think that because we're struggling, because we're hurting, that somehow we failed, but nothing could be further from the truth. Your pain is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply an experience you're going through, and just like every other experience in life, it's there to teach you something. Pain can be a powerful teacher, but it's important to remember that it's not the lesson itself that defines us, it's how we respond to it. Every time you face pain, it's an opportunity to grow. It teaches resilience, patience, and the capacity to overcome. It sharpens us, makes us stronger, and gives us the kind of wisdom we couldn't get any other way. But in no way does it diminish who we are. In fact, it's through those lessons that we discover just how much we're capable of. You see, pain isn't here to tell you that you're not enough, that you're weak, or that you can't make it. It's here to stretch you, to push you beyond the limits you thought you had. It's not here to define your life. It's here to show you that you are so much more than any hardship you've ever faced. It's here to remind you that your strength isn't found in avoiding pain, but in moving through it. When you're in the thick of it, when the weight of the world feels like it's pressing down on you, remind yourself that this pain is not the story of your life. It's a chapter, a moment. It's part of your journey, but it's not who you are. You are more than your struggles, more than your hurt, more than any loss or disappointment you've experienced. Those things don't define you, they shape you. And the beauty of it all is that once you've gone through it, once you've learned the lesson, you emerge stronger, wiser, more compassionate. Pain has a way of teaching us the deepest truths about ourselves, truths we might not have learned otherwise. It shows us where our strength comes from, where our courage lies. It teaches us what we're made of. But it never defines us. You are defined by your perseverance, by your ability to rise after falling, by the love and grace you carry with you through it all. So the next time you face pain, remember that it's here as a teacher, not as a mirror of who you are. It's here to refine you, not to limit you. And as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you don't let the pain convince you that it's all there is, you will come out on the other side with lessons learned, but never defined by the struggle. Pain doesn't get to tell your story, you do. We've all been there, in that moment where pain feels like it's taking over our entire world. Maybe it's a loss, a heartbreak, a failure, or a setback that cuts so deep you wonder how you'll ever move past it. In those moments, it can feel like that pain is everything like it's swallowed you whole, and there's nothing left but the hurt. But here's something I need you to remember. Every painful experience is just a chapter in your life, not the whole book. It's one part of your journey, but it doesn't define the entire story of who you are. You see, life is a series of moments, some filled with joy and others with hardship. And when you're in the thick of pain, it's so easy to feel like that moment will last forever. It's easy to think that what you're going through now is going to overshadow all the other parts of your life. But that's not true. Pain is temporary, and even though it can leave a mark, it doesn't get to be the final word. It's just a chapter, and no chapter lasts forever. Think about the stories you've read or the movies you've watched. Every character faces adversity. They go through trials that seem impossible to overcome. But what makes their stories powerful is that they don't stop there. They keep going, they learn, they grow, they rise. And just like those characters, your pain is a part of your story. But it's not the whole narrative. It's a chapter that, while important, is leading you to something greater. Sometimes when we're in pain, we get stuck. We start to believe that this one chapter is all there is, that our lives will forever be defined by this one moment. But I want you to understand something: you are more than any one experience. You are the sum of all the moments you've lived, the joys, the triumphs, the lessons learned, and yes, even the pain. But that pain is just one part, not the whole story. It's a stepping stone, not the destination. You have so many more chapters to write. And while this one may feel heavy, it's not where your story ends. It's simply a place of growth, a place where you're being tested and shaped so that when the next chapter begins, you're ready for what comes next. Pain doesn't mean the end of your journey. It means you're in the middle of it. It means you're in the process of becoming who you're meant to be. The beautiful thing about life is that no chapter is the same. There will be moments of light after the darkness, laughter after tears, and joy after sorrow. The pain you're experiencing now will fade, and when it does, you'll look back and see that it was a chapter that taught you something, that prepared you for what's next, but it won't be the chapter that defines your whole life. So don't get stuck in this moment. Don't believe that because this chapter is painful, the rest of your story will be the same. You have the power to keep writing. You have the strength to turn the page. And when you do, you'll find that there's so much more waiting for you, more love, more happiness, more growth. This chapter, with all its difficulty, is just one piece of a much bigger, more beautiful story. And when you look back on your life, you'll see that the pain was necessary, that it had a purpose, but you'll also see that it wasn't the whole picture. You are the author of your story, and you get to decide how it unfolds. So keep going, keep turning the page, because the best is yet to come. Pain may be part of your journey, but it's not the destination. When life knocks you down, it can feel like the wind has been taken out of you. Those moments of deep hurt, when your heart is heavy and your spirit feels shattered, it's easy to question your strength. It's easy to wonder if you have what it takes to get back up, to keep going when the pain feels overwhelming. But here's something I need you to hold on to. You are stronger than you think, even in your darkest moments, even when it feels like you can't take another step. You have a strength inside of you that is deeper, more powerful, and more resilient than you could ever imagine. Strength doesn't always look like pushing through without shedding a tear. Strength doesn't mean you don't feel the hurt or that you're invulnerable to the pain. In fact, real strength shows up in those moments of vulnerability, in the tears you cry, in the times when you feel like you can't go on but still manage to take that next breath, that next step. Strength is not about the absence of struggle, it's about finding a way to keep moving, even when the weight feels too much to bear. Often we underestimate our own resilience. We think that just because we're hurting, we're weak. But let me tell you something, it's in the moments of hurt that your true strength emerges. You don't always see it in the moment, but you're showing strength just by surviving, just by holding on when everything in you wants to give up. The fact that you're still standing, that you're still here despite the pain, despite the heartache, is proof that you are far stronger than you give yourself credit for. Think back to the hardest moments of your life, the times when you thought you wouldn't make it through, when the hurt felt too deep to heal. But you did make it through, you survived, and not only that, you came out stronger, wiser, more resilient. That's because within you is a well of strength you didn't even know you had. And the same is true now in this moment of hurt. You may feel like you've reached your breaking point, but I promise you, you are far from it. You are stronger than this pain, stronger than this moment. Sometimes our strength reveals itself in the quiet moments, in the decision to get up in the morning when it feels easier to stay in bed, in the small victories of choosing to keep going when you don't feel like you can. Strength doesn't always roar sometimes. It's the whisper that says, I will try again tomorrow, and that whisper is powerful. That whisper is the voice of resilience, the voice of a fighter, the voice of someone who refuses to let the pain define them. You are stronger than you think because your strength isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's in the way you keep moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers. It's in the way you allow yourself to feel the pain, to be present in the hurt, but not let it break you. Your strength is in your ability to keep hoping, to keep believing in better days, even when the present feels unbearable. The human spirit is remarkable in its ability to endure. You may not feel strong right now, and that's okay. You may feel broken, tired, and worn out. But even in those feelings, there is strength. There is power in your persistence, in your refusal to give up on yourself. Because deep down, you know you can get through this. You've done it before and you'll do it again. You are more powerful than the pain you're feeling, more resilient than the hurt you're carrying. So when you're feeling lost, when the hurt seems too much, remind yourself you are stronger than you think. This moment of pain does not diminish who you are. It is simply another part of your journey, another challenge to show you just how deep your strength runs. And when you come out on the other side, and you'll look back and realize that this hurt didn't break you. It built you. It showed you that you are capable of enduring more than you ever thought possible. You are stronger than you think, even in moments of hurt. And that strength, that resilience is what will carry you through this and into the light on the other side. Pain, though it can feel unbearable at times, has a way of reminding you of something crucial. You're still here. You're still fighting. You're still standing. In the midst of hurt, in the middle of hardship, pain can seem like the enemy, like something you want to run from or numb out. But if you listen closely, if you allow yourself to feel it fully, you'll realize that pain is more than just a source of suffering. It's a signal. It's proof that despite everything, you're still in the game. You haven't been knocked out yet. When pain shows up, it's easy to think of it as a weakness, as a sign that something's gone wrong. But that pain is also a testament to your strength. It's proof that you're still engaged in life, still present in the fight. Pain only comes when something matters. It shows up when you're pushing yourself, when you're loving deeply, when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. Pain doesn't just remind you of what hurts, it reminds you that you're alive, that you're not giving up. There's a strange but powerful beauty in realizing that even when it feels like life is weighing you down, you're still standing. Every tear, every ache, every moment of doubt, it all points to the fact that you haven't quit. You're still in the process of becoming. You're still moving forward, even if it feels like you're crawling. Pain means you haven't surrendered. You may be bent, but you're not broken. You may be bruised, but you're still standing. Think about it. Pain comes when you're pushing yourself beyond what you thought you could handle. It's the stretching of your soul, the expansion of your spirit. Pain isn't a sign that you're failing, it's a sign that you're fighting for something, that you care enough to stay in the struggle. Whether it's the pain of loss, the ache of disappointment, or the sting of failure, each one is proof that you haven't given up on life. You're still here, still showing up, still choosing to fight for your future, your dreams, your healing. Pain, in its rawest form, connects you to your deepest strength. When you're in the middle of it, it's easy to feel like you're being torn down, but in reality, you're being built up. Every time you face the pain head on, every time you confront it instead of running from it, you're strengthening a part of yourself that you didn't even know existed. Pain forces you to dig deep, to find a source of resilience within you that's been waiting for this exact moment to rise. And it's in those moments when you think you've reached your limit, when the weight feels unbearable, that you find out what you're truly made of. Pain is the mirror that shows you your own courage. It's the reminder that you're capable of enduring more than you ever thought possible. As long as you're feeling that pain, you're still in the fight. You haven't been defeated. You haven't lost. You're still standing, still fighting, still moving forward. You see, pain has a way of waking you up to what's important. It strips away the distractions, the noise, and forces you to focus on what truly matters. It brings you face to face with your deepest fears and your greatest hopes. And in that confrontation, you're reminded that you're still in control, that you still have a choice. Pain may make you stumble, but it won't make you fall. It may bring you to your knees, but you'll rise again. Every time you experience pain, it's a testament to your resilience. It's a reminder that life is still unfolding for you, that your story isn't over. You're still here, still breathing, still able to change your path. That pain is the fire that forges your strength, the heat that refines your character. It's not here to break you, it's here to build you, to remind you that you're stronger than you think, braver than you believe, and more capable than you've ever imagined. So when pain comes, don't see it as a sign of defeat. See it as a sign that you're still standing, still fighting for the life you deserve. Pain is not the end of your story, it's just one part of the journey. And as long as you're still in the fight, there's hope. There's possibility. There's a future waiting for you on the other side of the struggle. You may not feel it right now, but that pain you're feeling is proof that you're still in the game. You're still in the process of becoming the person you're meant to be. So let the pain remind you that you're not finished yet. You're still here, you're still fighting, and most importantly, you're still standing. When life feels easy and comfortable, it's natural to think that's where growth happens. We wish we could always learn through joy and smooth sailing, but the truth is, it's in the hardest moments that we grow the most. It's in the pain, in the struggle, in the heartache that we're stretched beyond what we thought possible. That's where transformation lives, right in the center of the storm, not on the calm shores. Think about a seed buried deep in the soil. To grow, it has to push through the darkness, break through the earth, and reach toward the light. Growth doesn't happen in the sunlight alone. It begins in the depths, in the places where the struggle is real, where it takes effort and patience. And we are just like that seed. It's when we're in our darkest places, when we feel buried under the weight of life, that we begin to grow. Hard moments force us to confront who we are. They strip away the illusions, the distractions, and show us parts of ourselves that we may have ignored or never even knew existed. It's when we're pushed to the brink, when we feel like we have nothing left to give, that we discover the strength we didn't know we had. That's where the magic happens, not when everything is going smoothly, but when we're faced with adversity and we have to dig deep. You don't grow by staying in your comfort zone. You grow by facing the challenges that life throws at you, by navigating the storms that you thought would break you. When life tests you, that's when you learn what you're really made of. You find out how strong you are, how resilient your spirit is. It's in those moments of doubt and fear that you learn to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome whatever comes your way. The hardest moments are also the ones that teach us the most about life. They teach us patience when things don't go our way, humility when we face failure, and gratitude when we come out the other side. Hard times show us that we don't have all the answers, and they remind us to rely on something bigger than ourselves. In the struggle, we learn to let go of what we can't control and to hold on to the things that truly matter. And here's the beautiful thing: the hardest moments are temporary, but the growth they bring is permanent. The pain will pass, the challenges will fade, but the person you become because of them, that's who you carry with you for the rest of your life. You won't be the same person you were before the hardship, and that's the point. Growth changes you. It shapes you into someone wiser, stronger, more capable of facing whatever life has in store for you. Hard moments force us to grow in ways we never would have chosen for ourselves. But it's those very moments that prepare us for the next chapter of our lives. They teach us resilience, not just to survive, but to thrive. They show us that we can endure more than we ever imagined, and that no matter how tough it gets, we are always capable of rising again. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when we're tested, when we're put through the fire. It's in the moments when we're tempted to give up, to walk away, that we learn perseverance. It's when we keep going, even when the odds are stacked against us, that we discover the power of our spirit. Every difficult moment is an opportunity to grow, to become more of who we're meant to be. So the next time life throws you a curveball, remember that this is where your greatest growth is happening. It may feel like the hardest thing you've ever faced, but it's also the moment that's shaping you, refining you, making you into someone stronger and more resilient than you've ever been. You may not see it now, but you're growing. You're evolving. You're becoming the person you're meant to be. The hardest moments are the ones that push us to grow in ways we never thought possible. And when you come out on the other side, you'll realize that those challenges were not setbacks, they were stepping stones. You'll see that it was in those very moments of hardship that you were being prepared for something greater. That's when the real growth happens, and that's when you truly begin to shine. Life is a series of seasons, a tapestry woven with moments of joy and sorrow, sunshine and rain. When we find ourselves in the midst of a storm, it can feel like the darkness will never lift. The winds howl, the rain pours down, and we're left feeling lost, disoriented, and unsure of what comes next. But in those moments when the world seems chaotic and uncertain, it's essential to remember that there's always calm after the storm, and the sun will shine again. Storms, in all their ferocity, serve a purpose. They can be disruptive, unsettling, and even painful, but they also bring cleansing and renewal. Much like the natural world, our lives go through periods of turmoil, but it's important to recognize that this is not the end. Just as the storm clouds gather, they will also disperse. There will come a time when the chaos subsides, when the winds die down, and when you can finally breathe again. This moment of calm may feel distant while you're in the thick of it, but it is not only possible, it is inevitable. Every storm has its own rhythm, its own timing. Some may pass quickly, while others linger longer than we'd like. But the reality is that storms do not last forever. They may leave behind some debris and chaos, but they also pave the way for new beginnings. Just as the earth is nourished by rain, we too grow through our struggles. The difficulties we face are often what lead us to our greatest strengths. They teach us resilience, patience, and the art of hope. In the midst of the storm, it's easy to feel trapped, as though you're at the mercy of forces beyond your control. Yet this is the moment when you must remind yourself of the light that lies beyond the clouds. The sun will shine again, and with its return, the world will transform. The warmth of the sun brings clarity and perspective. It reminds us that every challenge is temporary and that brighter days are ahead. Think about those times in your life when you felt overwhelmed, when it seemed like the challenges would never end. Reflect on how, after enduring the storm, you emerged on the other side. You might have found new insights, learned valuable lessons, or discovered strengths you didn't know you had. It's in those moments of calm after the storm has passed that we often find clarity and purpose. The chaos subsides, and suddenly we can see the beauty in what remains. As you navigate the storms in your life, it's essential to keep your focus on the horizon. Visualize the sun breaking through the clouds, illuminating your path forward. Hold on to the belief that the storm will pass, that there's a calm waiting for you just beyond the chaos. It's this faith that will carry you through the darkest moments. The knowledge that every storm eventually yields to the light will help you stand tall, even when the winds are howling. Moreover, when the sun shines again, it's not just a return to normalcy. It's an opportunity for renewal, for growth, and for embracing a new chapter. The calm after the storm is often accompanied by newfound clarity and strength. You'll begin to see the world differently, with fresh eyes and a revived spirit. The lessons learned during the storm can guide you, enriching your life in ways you may not yet fully understand. So during those turbulent times, don't lose sight of hope. Embrace the storms, knowing that they're part of your journey. Allow yourself to feel the emotions that come with them: grief, fear, uncertainty, but don't let those feelings define you. Remember that you are more than the storms you face. You are the survivor, the learner, the warrior. In the end, the sun will shine again. There will be moments of laughter, of joy, of connection that remind you of the beauty in life. You will step into that light, carrying the wisdom of the storm with you, equipped to face whatever comes next. The calm after the storm is a gift, a reminder of your strength, and an invitation to celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. Embrace it, for you have weathered the storm, and now you are ready to shine. One day you'll look back and see how far you've come. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, moments of triumph and instances of struggle. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day challenges, the feelings of inadequacy, or the weight of uncertainty. When you're in the midst of a difficult time, it can feel like you're standing still, as if the path ahead is shrouded in fog and you're not sure where to go next. But there's a profound truth that often reveals itself over time. One day you'll look back and see how far you've come. In the thick of it all, it's so easy to lose sight of your progress. You may feel like you're stuck in the same patterns, facing the same battles, wondering if you're making any headway at all. But growth isn't always a straight line. It's not always about big, sweeping changes or monumental achievements. Sometimes it's the small, incremental steps you take every day that lead to the most significant transformations. And these steps can often go unnoticed in the moment, overshadowed by the challenges you're currently facing. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Think back to the obstacles you faced, those moments that felt insurmountable, those challenges that made you question your strength. As you navigate through those tough times, you might have felt lost or overwhelmed. But now think about where you are today. You've made it through those difficult moments. You've learned, adapted, and grown in ways you couldn't have imagined back then. Every struggle you faced contributed to your growth, shaping you into the person you are today. Each moment of doubt, each instance of fear, each time you stumbled and got back up, those experiences were not in vain. They were the building blocks of your resilience. You were forging a path even when you couldn't see it clearly. You were crafting your own story, one that would ultimately lead you to a place of strength and understanding. One day, when you pause to reflect, you'll see how far you've truly come. You'll look back at the challenges that once seemed insurmountable and recognize how they have transformed you. You'll see the growth that was happening beneath the surface, the courage that bubbled up even when you felt weak, and the determination that pushed you forward despite the odds. It's in these moments of reflection that you'll realize that you are not the same person you were when you started this journey. You will see how you've developed new skills, how you've learned to navigate your emotions, and how you've grown to embrace your own strength. You'll understand that each setback was merely a setup for a comeback, a stepping stone that led you to greater clarity and purpose. The hurdles you faced became the lessons that guided you, and the pain you endured nurtured your resilience. Time has a way of offering perspective. When you look back, you'll notice the subtle shifts in your mindset, the new perspectives you've gained, and the wisdom you've harvested along the way. You will see the relationships that have deepened, the connections you've made with others who understand your journey, and the moments of joy that have punctuated the struggle. These are the memories that will warm your heart, the milestones that remind you of your progress, and the reminders that you are capable of overcoming anything life throws your way. This reflection is not just about recognizing how far you've come, it's also about appreciating the journey itself. Life isn't just about the destination, it's about the moments along the way, the laughter, the tears, the lessons learned, and the growth achieved. Each day you faced your challenges, you were writing your own narrative, crafting your own story of perseverance, and forging your own path. So even when times are tough, hold on to the belief that your journey is leading you somewhere incredible. Trust that every experience, every emotion, and every challenge is contributing to your evolution. And when that day comes, when you can finally look back and see how far you've come, let it fill you with pride and gratitude. You are a testament to resilience, a beacon of hope, and an embodiment of strength. Cherish the journey, even in its most challenging moments, because it's shaping you in ways you may not fully understand yet. One day, you'll look back and see that every step you took was worth it. You'll recognize that your journey is a beautiful tapestry of growth, and you'll celebrate the remarkable person you've become along the way. Pain is an unavoidable part of the human experience. It can manifest in countless ways: emotional anguish, physical suffering, or the deep ache of loss. In those moments when pain takes center stage, it can feel overwhelming, as if it will swallow you whole and leave you in darkness. Yet, amidst that struggle lies a profound truth: the strength you gain from enduring pain lasts a lifetime. It is a strength that shapes your character, deepens your understanding, and empowers you to face whatever life throws your way. When you endure pain, something remarkable happens. You begin to uncover reservoirs of strength that you didn't even know existed within you. In the depths of your suffering, you discover resilience, the ability to bounce back, to rise again after being knocked down. It's in those moments of grappling with hardship that you learn just how powerful you truly are. You may find yourself surprised at your own capacity to endure, to fight back against the tide of adversity, and to keep moving forward even when every part of you wants to give up. Each experience of pain teaches you valuable lessons about yourself and the world around you. It forces you to confront your vulnerabilities, to face your fears head on. You learn that pain is not just a sign of weakness, it is also a catalyst for growth. It challenges you to dig deep, to find solutions, and to adapt. You start to understand that pain, while uncomfortable, is also transformative. It reshapes your perspective, making you more empathetic, compassionate, and connected to the shared struggles of humanity. The strength you gain from enduring pain is not fleeting. It becomes a part of who you are. Think about it: after weathering a storm, you emerge not just intact but changed. The lessons learned from your suffering become embedded in your being. They empower you to face future challenges with a newfound confidence. You carry this strength with you, often without even realizing it, as you navigate the ups and downs of life. Consider the moments when you faced difficult situations and found yourself standing tall in the face of adversity. Those moments are not just about surviving, they're about thriving. You've built a foundation of strength that helps you tackle new challenges with a sense of assurance. When life throws curveballs, you draw on the resilience you cultivated through past pain. Each struggle you endure adds to your reservoir of strength, reinforcing your belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. Moreover, the strength gained from enduring pain also creates a ripple effect. Your journey through hardship can inspire others, offering them hope and motivation during their own struggles. When you share your story of perseverance, you remind others that they too have the capacity to endure, to rise, and to transform their pain into power. Your strength becomes a beacon, illuminating the path for those who are still navigating their own storms. It's essential to remember that enduring pain doesn't mean you have to do it alone. The connections you forge with others during difficult times can deepen your sense of community and belonging. Leaning on friends, family, or support networks can amplify the strength you gain from your experiences. Together, you can share burdens, offer encouragement, and celebrate each other's resilience. In those moments of vulnerability, you find strength not only in yourself, but in the bonds that unite you with others. As you move through life, you may encounter new pain and challenges that test your resolve. But each time you face hardship, you are reminded of the strength that resides within you. You are equipped with the tools to navigate the storms, to weather the turbulence, and to emerge stronger on the other side. The pain you endure is not just an obstacle, it is a powerful teacher, imparting wisdom that will serve you for a lifetime. So embrace your pain. Acknowledge it, feel it, and learn from it. Understand that it is a part of your journey, a necessary chapter in your story. The strength you gain from these experiences will become a cornerstone of your character, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. One day, when you look back at the trials you faced, you'll realize that each moment of pain was a stepping stone toward your greatest strength. In the end, it is not the pain that defines you, but the strength you cultivate through it. This strength is a gift that lasts a lifetime, an enduring reminder that you can face anything with courage and resilience. You are more powerful than you know, and every moment of suffering is an opportunity to uncover that power within. In the tapestry of life, pain is an inevitable thread woven into our experiences and shaping who we are. It comes in many forms: physical suffering, emotional turmoil, or the heartache that accompanies loss and disappointment. During these moments of struggle, it can feel as though the pain is all-consuming, an unrelenting force that traps you in its grip. Yet, amidst this darkness, there is a guiding light, the reminder that pain is temporary, but your resilience is forever. Resilience is the innate strength that lies within you, a wellspring of courage that allows you to rise time and again in the face of adversity. It is not merely the ability to bounce back, it is the capacity to grow, to learn, and to adapt through your experiences. While pain may momentarily cloud your vision, your resilience provides a beacon of hope, urging you to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead seems unclear. When you find yourself entrenched in pain, remember that it is not a permanent state. It may feel overwhelming, suffocating, but like all storms, it will eventually pass. Think of the seasons. Winter may bring cold and harsh conditions, but spring follows, bringing renewal and rebirth. Your pain is much like this winter, intense and trying, yet not the end of your journey. The sun will rise again, and with it, new possibilities and growth await you. Keep moving forward. This is not just a directive, it is a declaration of your intent to rise above the challenges you face. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a testament to your strength and determination. Movement, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, allows you to break free from the chains of despair that pain tries to bind you with. It reminds you that you have the power to choose your direction, even in the midst of struggle. As you navigate through the pain, you may discover hidden reservoirs of resilience within you. Perhaps it's the quiet strength that compels you to get out of bed each day, even when you feel heavy-hearted. Maybe it's the ability to seek support from loved ones or to engage in self-care practices that nurture your spirit. Every act of perseverance builds upon itself, reinforcing your capacity to face whatever challenges come your way. Your resilience is forged in the fire of adversity. It is a muscle that strengthens with each trial you encounter. You learn to trust in yourself, to believe in your ability to overcome, and to face life's uncertainties with a sense of purpose. Every moment of struggle adds another layer to your character, enriching your understanding of what it means to be human. In times of hardship, it can be easy to forget how far you've come. You may feel like you're stuck in a cycle of pain, but take a moment to reflect on your journey. Remember the obstacles you've faced and the strength you've summoned to push through them. Each battle fought, each tear shed, has contributed to the incredible resilience that now resides within you. When you acknowledge this resilience, you empower yourself to keep moving forward. You become a force of nature, unwavering in your resolve to rise above the pain. You understand that each step is a declaration of your existence, a testament to your willingness to embrace life in all its complexity. Even when the road gets rough, you carry the knowledge that your strength is greater than any momentary discomfort. In the grand scheme of life, pain is fleeting. It comes and goes like waves crashing upon the shore. But resilience is the foundation upon which you build your life. It is the wisdom you gain from your experiences, the empathy you cultivate for others, and the courage you discover within yourself. It becomes a part of your essence, a lifelong companion that will guide you through every twist and turn. So in moments when pain feels insurmountable, remind yourself of this truth. You are not defined by your struggles, you are defined by your ability to rise above them. Each time you choose to move forward, you reaffirm your resilience. Embrace the journey with all its ups and downs, knowing that each step taken in the face of pain is a testament to your strength. Keep moving forward because pain is temporary, but your resilience is forever. In the end, it is this resilience that will carry you to brighter days, that will illuminate your path, and that will remind you of your incredible capacity to endure, thrive, and shine. You are a testament to the human spirit, a living example that no matter the pain, there is always a way forward, always a light to guide you home.